Welcome to Will It Build, the series where I take your builds from my YouTube comments and Discord server and put them to the test to see if they are the real deal. If it's solid, then I'll gift you 1,000 silver, and if it's really something special, you'll be featured in a dedicated build video for your submitted build. So comment yours below so we can answer the question, will it build? I loved the pitch for this one. Do you like threadlings? What if you had a build that gave you near infinite threadlings as well as a 90% damage resistance with super high uptime? I appreciate so much that this sounds like one of my build video intros. We're using the Weave Walk aspect as well as the Wanderer on Strand Warlock combined with the exotic helmet Dawn Chorus. But Alexa, I hear you say, Dawn Chorus is a solar exotic. It won't work with Strand. Extremely incorrect buzzer noise. Dawn Chorus is a Scorch exotic, meaning we can use any weapon that gives us scorching damage and still activate its perk, which gives us melee energy for Scorch ticks. Yeah, I get where they're going. So combine Dawn Chorus with a weapon like Skyburner's Oath, for example, and simply Scorch a target and enter Weave Walk. While they burn from the Scorch, the threadlings will target them as they're generated, leading to a constant stream of threadlings. Then simply hop out of Weave Walk and reapply Scorch, which helps refund your Weave Walk and keeps the loop going. That is a very, that's a combo that I never would have imagined existed. I want to test this in a couple of different things. The first thing I want to test this in though is the Legend Lost Sector. About 6 light levels down, so we'll see how this looks in under-leveled content. Okay, so we Scorch stuff. Oh yeah, look at that melee icon go. And then so apparently they also said that if we deal damage to something and we're DOTing something while we're in our Weave Walk, the threadlings will just sprint to it. Oh. Okay. And then we pop out and then we Scorch it again. Oh. Okay. And then we have the Wanderer, so we can suspend it as well when we throw our tangles at it. Dude, what? Is this like one of the most overpowered or strongest builds I've ever seen in my time playing Destiny? No. And we're not going to pretend for a single second that it is. But this is definitely one of the craziest and most unique interactions that I have ever seen in Destiny. Like, this is weird. The melee icon is continuously going up. And remember, you have a scout rifle, so if you're low on melee and you screw up like I did, because I'm not actually good at this game, then you just hang back from afar and chip away at stuff with the hip fire to get Scorch on stuff to refund your melee stacks. Okay, now we have an overload. So let's try and mix the overload stuns with the Scorch with the threadlings. Okay, so we'll stun him, then we'll Scorch, then we'll Weave Walk to get a bunch of threadlings on him, and then back to the stun, and then back to the Scorch, and then back to the Weave Walk, and then out of the Weave Walk, and then back to the stun, and then give him a little bit of that. Okay. Okay. Interesting. And we haven't even put any fragments or mods on yet. We're just going, we strictly aspects, Dawn Chorus, and Skyburner's Oath. That's it. That's all we've got going so far. You know what I feel like with this build? I feel like an artillery cannon. That's what I feel like. What? And hey, this is a Legend Lost Sector, so you can't be coming at me in the comments. You're just doing it in a public event. Try just building a real activity. This is a real activity. We need to get some mods on. We need to get the mods and fragments. Let's fill out the rest of the build, and then we'll go from there. They said we're using the Weave Walk aspect as well as the Wanderer. However, in their Destiny item manager link, they have Weaver's Call. I'm gonna opt in to their Destiny item manager link selection because I think they meant Weaver's Call. In either way, I think Weaver's Call makes a lot more sense with this build in terms of fragments. They had Generation, Fury, and Evolution, which, funny enough, Generation, Fury, Evolution, I already had on. In terms of mods, let's see what they have set up for us. Looks like they have a Solar Siphon, which makes sense. This will link up with the Skyburner's Oath, so we can make some orbs through that. We've got Momentum Transfer. Causing damage with a grenade reduces your melee cooldown, so they have 2 of those. Again, that makes sense. You have a way, even more ways to get your melee energy back, in addition to that Skyburner's Oath, Dawn Chorus, Scorch combination. We've also got Firepower, so when you throw your Threadling grenade, you can make orbs when the Threadlings from that grenade kill enemies. Charged Up, so I'm assuming we're going to be getting some armor charge, which it looks like right here. Utility Kickstart. Distribution and Outreach. And then we've got Absolution, Recuperation, and Invigoration. So step 1, let me equip all of this stuff, and then I'm gonna do a couple tweaks, just some small tweaks. So here's the full spread if you guys want to take a screenshot. Here are the couple of tweaks that I would make, specifically when it comes to distribution and absolution. So I think a lot of people don't know this. This is called the Destiny Data Compendium. It's an Excel spreadsheet, and I absolutely love it because it gives you actual numbers on what everything in Destiny does. So for example, if I click on armor mods here and I scroll over to class item, I can look at distribution and see, okay, on class ability usage within 15 meters of an enemy, grants grenade, melee class, and super energy, where warlocks get a 2x multiplier for all of the numbers listed. And I see that for one mod, I get 3.5% times 2, which would be 7% towards all of my abilities, and then 2% times 2, which would be 4% towards my super. And I can contrast that with, say, let's say I wanted to look at, okay, what if instead of doing distribution, I wanted to do bomber and outreach? Well, I see with bomber, again, warlocks times 2 multiplier. If I had bomber and outreach, I'd actually get 20% grenade energy, and coming down to outreach, 20% melee energy versus the 7% grenade and melee energy I would get with distribution. In that context, I'd actually kind of rather drop the distribution to get a copy of outreach and a copy of bomber, because now instead of getting 7% for each, as well as 7% class ability energy and 4% super energy, I'm instead just getting 20% grenade and 20% melee, which I like a lot better in the context of this build. Similarly, for Absolution, the story is basically the same. I'd rather just drop Absolution and take an Innervation. So I have Innervation, Recuperation, Invigoration. Other than that, I really love what they have set up for us. Let's boot up a Master Lost Sector and see what happens. And right before we start this Master Lost Sector, do y'all think that everyone watching this on YouTube knows that they can see these live if they come to twitch.tv/Mactics?
We don't care.
Okay, hit him, scorch him, weave walk, threadlings, go. Yeah. Scorch, weave walk, go. This is such a funny interaction. And I'm just, right now, I don't really want to push these guys. So I'm just kind of mapping them with the hip fire from Skyburners so I get my scorch. So I can just kind of chill and regen melee energy. And then once I have all 3 of my melee charges, then I can safely push up because I have so much time to be in weave walk. And I will say, I am a little underleveled for this Master Lost Sector, so you'll probably have better results if you try this. I wonder what other exotics this could work with. I mean, this could undeniably work with legendary weapons with incandescent. I don't think it would work quite as well, but it would work for sure. So real quick, I want to test out all of the other exotics that could potentially scorch targets. Some of them, the verbiage in their exotic descriptions doesn't explicitly say scorch, so I just want to test all of them and see what's going on. So Sunshot says this weapon fires explosive rounds and highlights targets that take damage from Sunshot. We also have Sunblast, where targets killed with Sunshot explode in solar energy. So I don't think Sunshot is going to work for this, but we're going to take a peek. And as far as I can tell, it's doing nothing. Let's try Polaris Lance. 3. Oh. Okay, so Polaris Lance definitely works. I'm pretty sure. As far as I could tell, that looked like it procced, right? And 5. Yeah, look at the melee. Okay, it 100% works with Polaris Lance. Oh my god. It works like really well. I got almost a full melee charge off of that one explosion. Let's look at Tikus. Let's drop that. Prime those guys. Tikus, it seems like it doesn't work. Let's try it on the tanky guy, though. Yeah, Tikus is looking like a no. Let's try Tommy's matchbook. While overheated, sustained fire scorches your targets. Okay, so that seems like this should definitely work. Yes, it is definitely working. I saw the melee scooping up a little bit. That definitely works 100%. Let's go Prometheus, which I am 99.9% sure will work because Prometheus literally in its description says that sustained fire scorches targets. Prometheus lens. It definitely works. Prometheus lens is 100%. Works really well also, similar to how Polaris lens worked really well. I don't think 1,000 voices doesn't scorch, I don't think. I don't think 1,000 voices is like a burn DOT effect. Only one way to find out. Can't disagree with that. A 1,000 voices indeed works. Now, I'm not sure how viable it is to use 1,000 voices to continuously proc non-chorus. But it works. Keep in mind, it's like level 1600. That's why it's doing literally nothing to him. Oh, one thing that I feel like I'm definitely not utilizing as much as I should is I should be trying to generate tangles a lot more often by using some of my melee charges to hit enemies so I unravel them. So since they're affected by a strand debuff, unraveled, they'll make a tangle, which I can then use to proc my Thread of Fury a little bit more often to get more melee energy. That is the only thing I think I'm underutilizing with this build. This is kind of like the never die Warlock build. It's like because for all intents and purposes, Weave Walk is invisibility for Warlock. And so if you have a setup that allows you to have infinite Weave Walk, then similarly, you kind of have infinite invisibility. You just so happen to also make a bunch of Threadlings while you do it. All right, here's the plan. We're gonna get our super, go into Weave Walk, and sneak attack him. Wah! Oh. The super hit all of the Screebs. Not that it matters. Look at all the Threadlings running around. And a 0 death Master Law Sector. Even got some transversive steps out of it. So, will it build? Yeah, I'd say so. This one definitely wins 1,000 silver. Or, I know people aren't the happiest at Bungie right now. So instead of 1,000 silver, you win the equivalent of 1,000 silver. And if you guys want to be in one of these videos, make sure you drop your build in the comment or hop in the Discord server linked in the description, put it in the Will It Build channel so you can have a chance to win as well.